This is one of the very few newer communities here in the Hudson Valley. I'm walking down the streets here in Newburgh, New York. Now here in the Northeast, there's not enough new home communities, which has led to a lack of inventory in certain areas. Now contrast that to states like Florida, Texas, California, which faces a different kind of problem. They have too many new home communities, which is something that's killing prices in those areas. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is because I've seen a lot of new videos on social media where agents are complaining about sellers not being realistic when it comes to their list price and what they can expect to get from the sale of their home. And of course, most of these agents live in Florida, Texas, and California. And trust me, guys, there's other states like Tennessee and Colorado that are hurting as well. But let's go over some of the statistics in the big three, Florida, Texas, and California, and contrast that to states here in the Northeast. Check out this map here that shows 7 Northeast states. Now, there's a total of 67,168 homes for sale in 7 combined states. Now, just in case you guys are wondering, the combined population of those 7 states is 35.25 million people. So you can see that there's not even 70,000 homes for sale in those states. And again, there aren't that many new home communities. So it's not like there's a ton of homes for sale off market or that aren't on the MLS. Now check out Florida. It has a ridiculous amount of homes for sale. Almost 175,000 homes are for sale in the state of Florida, which has a population of 23.5 million people, which is about a third lower than those 7 Northeast states. Now here's a map of Texas. Almost 141,000 homes for sale. California has almost 78,000 homes for sale. And of course, there's a lot of reasons why there's significantly less demand for homes today versus during the pandemic. First, migration numbers have changed. For Texas, their net migration is less than half of where it was during the pandemic years. For Florida, it's gone down 80%. And for California, they've actually lost people. More people are leaving California than are coming in. And there's a lot of factors for that. The cost to live in these states has gone through the roof. And many of you are very well aware of the rise in homeowners insurance costs in those states. My brother-in-law recently sold his house in Southern California, and he was telling me that his homeowners insurance costs went up over 400% since he initially bought the house 8.5 years ago. And the insurance that he had on the house when he sold it wasn't as good as when he first bought it. Of course, premiums in Florida are the worst in the country. And that's even if you can get standard insurance in those states. Now, another reason people aren't moving to those states is because of work from home policy changes. A lot of people now have to go back to the office, so you can't just live by the beach anymore while working in another state. Now, I gave you guys some of the numbers in terms of how many homes are listed for sale actively in these states, but check out the graphs. You can see that inventory levels are more than triple where they were during the pandemic and well above their pre-pandemic levels. And trust me, guys, things are a lot worse. Because Florida has a ton of new home communities, there are a lot of homes that are available to buy right now, but that aren't necessarily listed on the MLS. Now, most of those homes are seeing big price cuts as well. Check out these price drops in some of these Lennar communities. Some of these drops are huge, more than 10%. And you can see from the map, there are new home communities everywhere, just in this Orlando region of Florida. Texas is just as bad. This graph looks exactly like Florida's. Texas has more than triple the inventory it had at its pandemic era low, and inventory levels are well above where they were pre-pandemic. And of course, they have price drops as well. You can see that Lennar has had to cut the price on their homes throughout Texas. Look at this image, folks. You can see that they've had to cut the price on some of these new homes around 20%. Those are massive price drops. At the same time, they're offering incentives, which even include rate buydowns. And finally, here is California. Now, California isn't as bad as Texas and Florida, but you can see since 2023, inventory levels have started to shoot up, and it's catching up to some of these other states. Take a look at this advertisement for this new home community. Look at the rates they're offering in the first 2 years of your mortgage, and then for the rest of the mortgage. It costs a lot of money to offer these rates. This is something that everyday people can't compete with. Which home do you think people are going to buy? The house that they have to get their own 6.75% interest rate for 1 year? Or are you going to start with a 3% mortgage and they are going to give you money towards upgrades and closing costs. And keep in mind, guys, even in these communities in California, with all these incentives that they're offering, they're still dropping the prices on these homes. So guys, the point is that the real estate downturn has spread. It started in the Southeast and it's made its way out west. And believe me, eventually it's gonna hit the Northeast. It won't be as bad because the inventory levels in the Northeast aren't insane. The building levels aren't insane, but it will come eventually. Now, a big reason I wanted to make this video is because of the videos I've seen from real estate agents complaining about their sellers. They've been saying how their sellers aren't realistic. They want a price for their home that no longer exists in this market. They're not adapting to this new market that we're in. And I've seen that, folks. I've seen people keep their homes listed for sale for 6 months and barely lower the price. And for a lot of those, they had to delist the home or take it off the market. And there's been a huge increase in delistings nationally. So if you're thinking about buying a house, you need to ask yourself, if you're trying to catch a falling knife, and if you are, don't be afraid to lowball or give a lowball offer. The worst thing that people can say is no. But if you do buy a house today, you have to be comfortable with the fact that the house may be worth 10 or 20% less in a few years. Now, if you're selling your house, you need to think about how you can get someone to catch a falling knife, especially if you're in a state that has way too much inventory. If your realtor is telling you to cut the price and to realistically move the house, you need to cut the price significantly, then you need to do it. Because if you don't, you're probably not going to sell it and you're going to end up delisting it just like so many other people have. So say it with me now. Listen to my realtor. Listen to your realtor, guys. Trust me, realtors want to make money and they want to sell your house just as much as you do. But in certain markets, if you're going to sell it, you got to meet them halfway. That's going to be it for me today, guys. If you like this video, please hit like and think about subscribing to the channel. I'll see you next time.